Hi everyone, this is Bobby with BC Designs, and I have this super sweet card I'm going to share with you today. I love how this turned out. Right now, demonstrators are kind of having a crazy time with the supply items on Stampin' Up's website. We normally have an inventory supply list we can check, but since they have announced that they're no longer doing any back orders, it's kind of crazy to keep control and knowledge of what is available and what is not. It's crazy. But anyway, I wanted to share with you the bundle I'm using today. I'm using the cabin dies and the peaceful cabin. So this was a bundle that was in the mini holiday catalog. I checked before I started recording. This is unavailable anymore, the stamp set, but the dies were still available. They're $37. I think those are worth the price for just them themselves. To be quite honest with you, I have used these dies that I'm going to use today on so many of my projects, but this also had DSP paper that is also no longer available. So I used these 3 dies to die cut out all my trees that I'm going to show you. And what I did was I just cut 4 of each. So I cut 4 of the large balmy blue, and then I cut 4 each of the large basic white, and then the same thing with the smaller trees. I just cut 4 and 4. And then I used the border dies, the basic border dies, to get this border here. And then I am using the Stitch So Sweetly dies for the label for my sentiment. And then I'm also using the blue adhesive backed gems. These embellishments I didn't check. This ribbon I did check. I do know it is available. The balmy blue blue adhesive backed gems I did not check, so I'm not sure if those are still available, but this ribbon was. This is the glittered organdy ribbon. This was on low inventory, though. I will give you a heads up about that. I'm going to use our palette knives, and then I'm using our embossing paste today. And I went ahead and did some. I'll bring over my silicone mat. So I just used my silicone mat so I wouldn't make a mess when they were drying. So we'll just leave those there. I'm gonna do 3 of them. I just wanted to show you the technique I used. I wanted those to be able to dry while I was demonstrating the card. So I will do these here in just a second, so that way we give them time to dry as well. I'm using the sentiment, like I said, from that bundle, but you could use any Christmas sentiment. And then I stamped it in balmy blue ink. So let's go ahead and do these, and then that way they can be drying. Now our embossing paste, I don't know if you've ever used it, but it dries super quick. So you want to get your lid back on it as soon as possible. I put some of the, what's this stuff called? Press and seal. And it works really well to keep your embossing paste fresh. I'm going to grab a new one as soon as this video is over, and because that one's kind of gotten a little bit messy today. But I'm going to also scrape off some of this so I don't use it or waste it, because it really doesn't take a lot. I'm going to throw this away because, like I just said, I'm getting new. But I just put a little bit on my palette, and you don't want to scrape it because you don't want flat marks. So I just kind of dabbed it and then just kind of like pat it on, and I didn't care how thick it was, and I didn't do all the way down to the bottom because that's not going to be visible. And then if you get a lot, just scrape it off, and then you can just go back in and pat just to make it look like it's natural. You don't want it to look like you know, scraped it there. So I just kind of did one of these things with each of them. There is really no science to it. You just don't want to, you know, flatten it. So if I remember, you guys, I will insert a picture. It is so windy right now here in Indiana. And I do have a little bowl of hot water with a little bit of soap in it to the left of me, so I could put my palette knife in it, because like I just said, this dries really fast. So my palette knife would not do well if I just left it set there. So I'm going to move these out of the way because we'll get to those in just a minute. Let me move them over here. I can't really reach over there. Okay, my card base that I'm using today is our Balmy Blue, and it is 4.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. Okay. Then I took a piece of our shimmery white paper. This is good for watercoloring, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but it does have that little bit of a shimmer in there. And then for the basic border dies, all I did was take some tape, and I took a piece of basic white that was 5 inches by 2 inches. And then I just placed the border. I just visually looked at it and placed that right in the center, and then die cut that off. That's how I got that piece. And then we're going to do a slight watercolor wash for our background. Oh, I don't need that right now. I need here it is. So I just took a block, and I took our re-inker, and I'm just going to put a little dab of the re-inker on that block. And then I'm going to move this closer to me. I'm going to take our watercolor brush, and I'm just going to go back and forth, putting a little bit of water. And you don't have to go all the way to the bottom because, like I just said, you're not going to see much of the bottom. And then just put a little bit on your block, and then you can just start creating that background. And I just kept kind of going until I got it as dark as I wanted. Just something like this. I'm just going to keep on going. Okay, that's good enough, I think. I'm going to dry that off my block, and then turn on my heat tool to dry our paper. If you're not happy with the outcome that you get, you can always add more water and add more re-inker if you want to darken it up a little bit. I'm just going to leave it like that because I'm totally fine with that. And then I'm going to grab my little label, or border, and I just kind of placed it where I wanted it, and then I just started layering my trees. So let's bring the trees back in. I can pick them up. And you can visually kind of see, but what I'm going to do first, I think I'm going to pause the video because I'm going to put mini Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, and I know you guys do not want to sit and watch me have to do that many Stampin' Dimensionals, but all I did was, once I knew that this is dry, I just flipped them all over. The larger trees, I put 2 mini Stampin' Dimensionals, and on the smaller trees, I just put 1 right there at the bottom, and I will show you when I get them done, okay? Okay, guys, I have the little mini dimensionals on the back of everything. But I couldn't remember if I finished telling you guys what I started to say was about how windy it is here today. And if I remember, I'll insert a picture to show you guys another tree fell. And this one really took out our fence. Like, I think now we have to just totally get a brand new fence put up because I don't see any fixing this one. It's pretty bad. After the last time over the summer, I'm trying to put all the ones that I put the snow on, so that way when I go to grab, I can grab all the snow ones. Or at least turn them up so I can see them. So I waited for everything to dry. So I'm going to wrap the ribbon around my border before I put this down. But for right now, I'll show you guys how I figured out where to put mine. And after I placed everything, I'm going to put just a couple of dimensionals around here to just help pop that up, just so that way you can have a visual. But this is what I did. I just kind of laid this out and then started placing them, and then when I had them where I wanted them, I took a picture on my phone and then I just copied the picture. That's what I did. But since I already have my card right here that I can use for my guide, that's what I'm going to do for this one. So I'm going to start off with one of the medium balmy blue ones. Oops, did I get that? Yep. Okay. And then I'm just going to put it, and you can kind of go ahead and place this here to give you a guide, because like I said, bottoms of the trees I wanted tucked in behind there. So I'm just going to scoot that one down a little bit and then look and just make sure. So that way that's kind of a guide. And then I went ahead and put my next one on the end. And then it was just kind of easier to work my way towards the middle. And I knew that my bottom down here was going to be, I'm going to slide that one over just a little bit like that. Okay, so that's kind of how I did that. And then I just started layering them according to the picture that I took that was on my phone. So just to peel those off. And then this one I'm going to kind of layer up a little bit higher because I wanted them staggered in their height. And then we'll do a larger one of the basic white. And I'm going to put it about there. And then it's really easy to get lost too on where you're at on, because I had to like stop a couple of times and look at it and count and make sure I was where I thought I was. And now I need a white one with some snow. And then we'll put that one right here on top of that balmy blue one. And then I think I need another. This one is a white one without snow, but I think I'm going to do a white one with snow because we have quite a bit right there that doesn't have snow. So let's pop this one in here that does. And it looks like some of these I put on after the fact. The ones kind of in the center where the sentiment's going to be as well, I wanted to pop them up just a little bit higher, or not pop them up, but move them up a little bit higher. So let's go ahead and put this one. You just want to make sure, let me look as I'm doing that, our sentiment, yeah, that's going to be good. And then let's grab one of the balmy blue ones. Yeah, I didn't want them to all be the same height, so I did some staggering, kind of like I'm doing here. And then another one, I don't have a white one, so I'm just going to do another balmy blue right beside that one. I don't want to put all the snow ones right together. I mean, you could, it doesn't matter, but it's not what I want to do right now, so I'm going to do that. And then, let me see, decisions. Let's do, we'll do another basic white one, and then, whoops. We'll do another balmy blue right about there. You may not use all of them either, but then it's really easy for you to go back in and take these littler ones and just place wherever you think that you need some. I'm going to put another one right there that's got snow on it. And then I want a blue one right here to kind of break that up a little bit. Let's see. Now let's kind of lay our border on there and see. That might be, we might call that good. I kind of like that, actually. Let's see. Let's lay this on here. And see, those two trees now are not even going to be seen, so I should have paid attention. So let's kind of move those up. We can just take them off and put them right up there where they will be seen. You might need to add another glue dot if you lose your adhesive on there. Let's see now if that's going to work. Yeah, that works better. This one, though, I might need to add a little bit or push down just to make sure I have that. I'm just trying to see if there's anywhere. I think I'm going to add this one. I think I'm going to add this one. And you can kind of feed them in. Oops. That one doesn't want to stick, so we'll have to revisit that. You can kind of feed them in. Let me see. Kind of like this, too, if you want to. I did that with quite a few. I kind of bent that one. Just be careful. And then I think I'm going to do, because I already put the snow on here. I really want the snow ones to be front and center. So let's put that one there. And then I think I'm going to put another one. See, it's easy to just keep going with this instead of stopping. I don't want those right at the same height. So let's do maybe that one. Okay, no, I'm gonna stop because I'm getting carried away. So let's take that ribbon, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of adhesive and put around on here, and that's gonna help keep that, because this is a small piece that we're working with. So let's go ahead, just make sure you have enough to tie your knot at your end before you really stick that down. So let's try it again and see. That should be enough. So I'm just going to flip it over now, make sure I have my ribbon. Let's go ahead and take these adhesives off. I should have put those on last, but I didn't, so we'll just go with it. I'm going to kind of slide that one down a little bit. That's just going to help hold that in place so I can tie my knot relatively easier without it. It's not going to be moving off the paper for me. Okay, don't tie it too tight because you don't want your paper to bow. And then I just tied a simple knot on one end. Okay, grab your paper snips. Let's see what we think that looks like. Pretty good. Okay, then let's grab Balmy Blue ink and stamp the sentiment. And as you guys can see, I do have quite a bit of the trees. I have 4 of the white and 1 of the basic or Balmy Blue left. I love the font in this stamp set too. I'm gonna flip that over and put some dimensionals on the back, just like that. Let's grab this piece. Now I am gonna put some more dimensionals on the back of here because my ribbon kind of covered those up. And I wanna, I wanna really make sure that that's gonna hold for me. So I'm just gonna place a few more on there. Okay, and then let's put dimensionals on the back of this piece. Everything gets dimensionals today, you guys. Popping everything up. Okay, I'm gonna grab, well, I thought I had some already cut up that I hadn't used, but I'm just gonna cut my sides there. And we'll pop this piece up too. I think I need to cut one more tiny piece. If you guys haven't, I would really appreciate it too if you would subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, leave me a comment. If you hit the little bell icon, you'll get notified every time I upload a video. And I have been doing 2 a week for quite a while now. Okay, let's go ahead, and I'm just gonna kind of bend that a little bit to help straighten it out and put this right in the center of that Balmy Blue piece. And then take the border, and I just looked at the bottom and the sides and then just matched that up. And this one, you can see, you're going to be able to see it, but you're not, because the sentiment is going to go right there. So those you can get away with a little bit. I just love how this card turned out. I really, really like this card. So let's just put that right in the center. And then, you know, let's go ahead. I'm going to peel. Oh, I thought that was the one that wouldn't stick, but I'm going to put one right there and then one of the basic white ones with snow since I have extra. Let's just jazz it up a bit and add that right there and see how we like that. And then let's grab a couple of these blue adhesive backed sequins. And I used all the smaller ones in my first one, but for this one, I don't have as many small ones as I used, so I'm just going to use what I have opened right here. We'll put a bigger one and a smaller one. And then I'm going to grab a big one and put right there. And then let's do another smaller one right over there, like that. I like that. Okay, guys, I hope that you liked today's card. If you do, please make sure that you leave a comment. And I will see you in my next video later this week. Bye-bye, guys.